What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Sorry about the lighting. I can't do this in the sunshine anymore because it's super hot up here and it's like the desert up here. It's super hot in the morning and then at nighttime it's super cold. No, I'm joking. It's not super cold. It's still just as hot because fuck upstairs. Sorry, I just had to rant about that real quick. But anyway, let's get back to what the video's about now. So this is the top 10 Zack Snyder movies or moments or parts. So I'm gonna go through the list of 10 things I liked about Zack Snyder's. Like, there are, parts in where I, loved it. Like, parts to where it, caught my eye, or parts where I was deeply invested in that scene, in that moment that Zack Snyder filmed that the way he did, or the way that was just done. So, anyway, let's just get right into it with my number 10, which is from the movie Watchmen. Now, if you haven't seen Watchmen, I recommend it. Pretty good. Not a lot of complaints. There are a little bit, but I'm not going to get into them. Rorschach. Well, okay. So this is kind of spoiler-ish. So if you haven't seen some of this stuff or seen some of these movies like Watchmen, Batman v Superman, or Man of Steel, then I suggest maybe you kind of vamoose, But I'm going to continue now. So Rorschach kills this one guy who killed this little girl. And, I'm not going to go into details of how, but it was pretty gruesome, and Rorschach straight up kills him. Now, and that was a very good moment because, because he's never killed anyone, and when he finally did that, it was a different turn of a page for him, or a different new style for him, because it was such an emotional type of response. It's like, what would you do in that situation? And I think that's what made that scene a little bit powerful in my eyes. Coming up at number 9 is Superman fighting Fiora in Man of Steel. Now, that was a really good scene. I felt like the CGI, while I watched it, I started to ignore the crappy CGI, and then I liked it way more and more each time. Really good fight. I like the way the way she's telling him that, that he's weak and he's gonna lose and stuff like that. I thought that was a good fight between those two. Number 8, seeing what Krypton looks like in Man of Steel. Now, Man of Steel, like I said, was good, and a lot of people are in the middle. A lot of people hate this movie, or a lot of people love this movie. But I think a lot of people will not deny is that people like people will deny this. What am I saying? Krypton, in my opinion, I liked the way it looked. It looked very sci-fi-y. It looked very different, and that's the point. You want to make it a little bit different from Earth, which is one of the other things I liked about it. And I liked how, spent about 10 to 20 minutes, I think it was 10, of us just seeing Krypton and right before the moments of when Clark was born. I really liked that, and I liked the way they set that up. So, my number 7 is when Rorschach dies. Now, Rorschach gets killed by Dr. Manhattan, and it was one of those things where it's like, Rorschach is the type of guy who he says never compromise, and he wasn't gonna compromise. He wasn't gonna let the bad guys win, and he does in a way he kind of does win in the end, even though he dies. But he dies because he decides to not he decides. Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm a little rough with these. This is a different video. But Rorschach dies because he does not want the bad guys to win, and he is gonna tell on them, and so Dr. Manhattan tells him that you can't do that, and blows him up because Rorschach's like, kill me, do it, like, and then he does it, which was an emotional scene. It was. Number 6, Rorschach fighting all those cops. Now this was pretty cool because this was like a setup where he finds this person he was interrogating, and he ends up he's dead, and Rorschach basically is blamed for his death, and he comes to his house only to realize at the last moment the cops are surrounding the building, and Rorschach takes like this, like, it was like they had some cool slow-mo in this too. The fight opens up with like him picking up a hairspray and like a lighter, and just like getting all the cops away from him and just running out the window. His hat falls off, and then he just starts fighting all the cops, and then they eventually take him down, but that was a really kick-ass scene. Number 5, Batman v Superman. When I say Batman v Superman, I mean Batman versus Superman, meaning that fight in that movie where those two actually go at it. Now, I had a lot of favorite moments in that scene because there were parts in it where I was like, wow, that was awesome, or that was funny. I think one of the funny moments was when, and I've never seen this on a comic book or in a movie, where Batman is just punching Superman in the face, and then it slowly starts to wear off, and then Batman kind of like backs up for a second, like, hold on now, and then Superman just right through the floor. It was awesome. I enjoyed that. That scene made me laugh my ass off. A lot of other cool moments in that, like when they just are just going back and forth punching each other. It's just I did like the fight. A lot of people say that it should have been longer. I do agree it should have been longer. It was kind of short. Number 4. Now this is a lot of people's favorite scene. I'll admit it, including myself, where Batman goes into the warehouse scene, and he just goes Batman Arkham style on all these guys. The only difference is he's murdering everybody. So that turned me off a bit, especially the scene at the very end of the fight where he stabs the guy with his arm bracers. That just got on my nerves, and I overlooked it because the scene was pretty cool. I hope we get to see more fighting style like that in movies, because that was really good. Really, really good. My number 3, Superman kills Zod. Now, I don't agree Superman should kill. I'm actually on the side of people who say Superman should never kill people. I agree, Superman should never kill people. But I think I like this scene because it's a very humanistic type of scene where it's like, where it's this last person that you're holding, in this lock, who's trying to kill this family, and is your last, like, I guess, like, Kryptonian relative, or Kryptonian at all, because they're both Kryptonians. All the other ones are dead, and it's just him and Zod left. And he kills him because he didn't know what to do, and at the time, he believed it was the right thing to do because he didn't want no one else to die. I mean, people complain about how many people died in that movie, and I think I agree with Superman where at the point it was like enough was enough, and just crack. It sucked, and he was emotional by it, and I think I understand. He'll never kill anyone else again, and I think. Speaking of that, I think I remember one time it was kind of funny. When I went and saw Batman v Superman in the theaters. I thought Superman killed this one guy. He drops in all cool, and then and then Lois signals him to get him, and Superman just right through the walls. And I'm talking to my dad, and he's explaining to me how you can get thrown through a couple walls and you'll still live, I guess. I'm gonna guess he's still alive. a lot of people, I got freaked out. I was like, Superman just killed that guy. No, he didn't kill him, but I thought he did. But I thought it was funny how I thought he did. But anyway, let's move on. My number 2 spot is Superman learning to fly. Now this part is another one of those scenes where I connect with Superman about how I'm learning to fly, and I think seeing that on the screen of him learning how to fly was really, really good, really done well. They've done that in Smallville, but I think it was much better in this version of Superman about him learning to fly. So it was a really good scene. I love, that's one of my favorite scenes in that Man of Steel movie. Now my number 1 spot for Zack Snyder's best movie moments or best movie directed scenes he's done is when Superman sacrifices himself to kill Doomsday. Now, I gotta be honest, when I saw this, I teared up. and I think I became more of a Superman fan than I normally would be. I'll be honest, I've never been a Superman fan when I was a little kid. When I was a little kid, I preferred Batman over Superman. I thought Superman was, whatever. But as I grew up and when I saw Man of Steel, I just connected with Superman. I started connecting with him, and now he is my second favorite superhero, which is pretty crazy. With Spider-Man being number 1, of course. But yeah, I thought it was just such a great moment. It's like this spear, the thing that can kill you, you're gonna fly toward him, and it's like a great scene because it's like he's telling Lois that that she's his world and she loves him and stuff, and then when Lois like no don't do it, and it starts flying and kryptonite's hurting him, and I don't know, it's like I love the scene because he wasn't a god anymore. He was just a man, I think. And I remember in that movie when Batman was saying, "You're not even a man, you're not a man." And then so I think me seeing that scene after seeing the entire movie, that's what made it more emotional for me, because he became a man at the end, and he died like a man too. A lot of people say Doomsday shouldn't have been in it. I agree. I think maybe they should have saved him for later. But we can't change it. I thought that it was done. The scene itself, the death scene, was done well, and it really got me. There's not a lot of scenes where I get emotional about. In superhero movies, not a lot of scenes where I connect with the character that much, let alone Superman. A lot of people do not connect with Superman, but I did at that scene. I did. There are a lot of scenes in Zack Snyder's version of Superman where I do connect with the character a lot, which is good. I think that is a good thing. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I wanted to do this in honor of Zack Snyder's Justice League movie coming out soon, and because he's having a rough time, and I hope he's happy to hear that Wonder Woman is doing successful in the box office and with the critics and the fans. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I'm out of here. Up, and away. See you guys.